Hello. Well, fancy seeing you here, you know? Yeah. So basically, from last time, I was jobless, um, and I didn't know what God wanted me to do in this season. And that season, I was actually doing a 40-day fast with my fellowship group. Um, I want to tell you, God really pulled up. God really said, I got you. I, why are you even worrying? Yeah, since that last time, I was discouraged. I was jobless. You know, money was really running low. And I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing with my life. And especially when you're seeking the face of God, because during that whole season, I was just like, God, what do you want me to do? Like, what am I doing with my life? Because I cannot remain jobless in this economy. So I want to tell you, God pulled up, God provided, and He really showed Himself. So first off, I'm there, I'm seeking God, I'm seeking His face, and yeah, and then my dad calls me and he's like, okay, what are you doing with your life? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I could not really give the man an answer. But honestly, even before I got fired, I started looking at courses to do like counseling, and then again, God brought back that whole counseling thing to me. After I had the conversation with my dad, I spoke to somebody else about the conversation I had with my dad, and honestly, God just like started to bring to mind specific words I'd had for a little 2 years, and yeah, safe to say I'd heard the word, and I did the stupid thing of just throwing it somewhere and ignoring it, didn't pray into it, didn't do anything about it. My friend, don't do that. Don't do that one. Is not wise. So then God started revealing to me, and I think one of the things that really helped me was, African parents, they don't play. So one of the strange things I wouldn't have expected my dad to say was, whatever, if you need to have a career change or whatever, if you need to do something completely different, I'll be there to support you. So I was like, okay, cool. So maybe, this counseling thing, but so I just asked him. I was like, okay, like, would you support me if I, maybe did something to do with counseling or psychology? I don't know if I already said, but yeah, the words for 2 years, they'd all been to do with like counseling and psychology. But like an idiot, I just threw it in the trash and I said, oh, that's cute, that's very nice, but didn't pray into it. So yeah, but God had just been reminding me of that word, reminding me of the kind of people I attract, the kind of people, just different scenarios that I always find myself in, people always coming to me for advice and just wisdom on different things and all this sort of stuff. And even like my passions, the things I like, the sorts of topics I enjoy talking about, or I've always like been to do with human behavior and just the mind and how it operates and emotions and things like that. So then, cool, now I finally have my answer. I'm supposed to be doing psychology, so I apply for an online psychology course. So now I'm applying, and I call my dad back and I'm like, Augusta, how are we sponsoring this course? And I was very upset because I know my dad does not have the money. Like, we don't have that money. It was over 7K. And my dad was like, oh, Dara, God will provide. God will provide. Don't worry. Oh, God will provide. And, I started to get emotional and things like that, because it's like, bro, like, I'd really put just only myself in this situation. Now I've put my family in this in this situation where we don't have the finances for this, and now I just feel like, not a burden, but I just feel like I just feel like I've just added stress on top of their plate. Like, why is it now that you've decided this is what you want to do? Do you get? So it was just like, now I'm like inconveniencing family, and me, I know I don't have the money, but I told my dad, okay, I'm gonna put all my savings into this as well. So, and how we get the rest, we'll just see how God does it. Cool. So we're still in this season of fasting and seeking the face of the Lord, and you know, I'm catching up with friends and everything, and hey, it's good to have friends that are in tune with the Spirit. It's good to have friends that are like-minded and who genuinely love God, who seek the face of God, because bro, like, they have really been my anchor. Like, they have really been encouraging me this whole season. And one friend in particular, God knows who she is, but God will bless her tremendously. I can't wait for God to bless me so I can just spoil that girl, because she has been a serious blessing. God has really used her as an instrument in my life. So again, during this time, bro, I did not have the rent to pay for that month, so for the month of August, and I'm looking at God like, oh, and you know, anytime soon, you know, yeah, anytime now will be really good for the finances to be flowing. So one day I get a random payment from my previous workplace. You know, the people that fired me, yeah, those people, just over £900 randomly in my bank account. When I tell you, these people already paid me. They already paid me for you know, what I'd worked for and everything. And then all of a sudden I said, God, I don't know if somebody made a mistake somehow, but I know I'm not reporting that money. If this is I know this is your hand, this has to be your work. I'm claiming that money and I'm paying my rent. So that was an amazing way that God provided for me, and I was able to have money to continue small, enjoy life a little bit, you know, still go to church, go and see friend, whatever. So yeah, God, that was really the hand of God. And I never saw myself as those people like, oh, you know, God really provided. You know, I was walking down the streets and a stranger handed me 2K, you know. So I really never saw myself as that person. That was just always so, I don't know, far-fetched to me. But when I tell you, like, when God's got you, God does not play about his children. Let me tell you about that. God does not play about his children. So if he says he's going to provide, best believe he's made that promise and he has to fulfill it. So that happened. Again, I said I was catching up with friends, and that friend that I was praising, and God will truly bless her. God really used her as an instrument in terms of provision. The next day, you know, after we'd caught up and everything, even before that, we caught up, we had a catch up and everything. She took me to one seafood boil place. Guys, this girl paid for me. Can I tell you how much seafood boil is? It's not in the average person's tax bracket to be doing it every day. Okay, that thing was expensive, very expensive, and she paid for both me and her. All right, like, guys, pray for wonderful friends, because when I tell you, you honestly never know what situation you'll find yourself in, and it's just by God's grace. I just thank God that I have amazing people around me, amazing friends around me. The people that are around me are truly people that God has put in my life. After that, you know, she paid for the seafood bowl. The next day, the girl drops 150. No, I'm getting the order wrong. Is it? No. Before the seafood, but before we caught up, and I explained to her my situation that, you know, can we go somewhere cheap? I don't really have the finances right now, okay? And she was like, yeah, sure. Sis sends me 150. And I call her. I haven't called her boyfriend because she was not answering. I said, sir, go and tell that your lady that everything that God has planned for you, has planned for her, oh, God must accomplish it in her life. Because in her, that money meant so much. That money meant so much to me. So honestly, God bless her. God bless her tremendously. Hey, have good friends. Have good friends. And then, we'd caught up, had our seafood boil. And then by that time, I'd let her know that, God had finally revealed what I'm supposed to be doing and everything. Guys, the next day, this girl sends me 1K. 1K. How many of you can just drop 1K in your friend's account just like that? I want to know. Put your hand up. Where are you? If you put your hand up, contact me. I'm joking. But this girl sent me 1K, and it still shocks me to this day. And I just want God to bless me in such a way, bro. Hey, I'm gonna spoil that girl. I'm gonna spoil her, because what? Can your own family even just drop you 1K like that? I mean, if you have good family, they would, but friends don't just do that. Do you know how much 1K is? And she was like, yeah, Dara, I just value our friendship, and I really want to invest into like your education and this like journey that God is taking you on. Hey, somebody says it's good to have good friends. That happens. And then moving on, I have a friend, she's feeling a bit down, blah blah blah. I go to see her. I'm already thinking, transports, and I'm going to see her in Wales, so I'm already transport money, but it's needed. I need to see my friend. She's hosted me very well. She's made me food. She did the shopping and everything, and I send her £10 just to contribute. And then the next day, I get another friend, just randomly. She sends me £10. You see the way how God replenished that money, even that just small money. And even then, like, I've been enjoying life. I've been feeling so useless and so unproductive in this season, but God has really, like, the rest that I've had has been tremendous. It's been amazing. Like, it's just been nice to just get away and just be with God. And God has just been providing in just really lovely ways, in really the people around me. Like, I had to have friends take me out, and they just pay for me, and I haven't lacked. Like, I still have money over. And to top it all off, while I was seeing my friend who was in Wales, I get an email from a job I'd applied for. And guys, I'd been applying for like part-time jobs. I've been applying for anywhere, anything, even KFC, not even get back to me. KFC, all these, like student type roles, like McDonald's, no even want to get back to me. Like, what? Like, nothing. I was just rejection upon rejection. I'm just there again. I'm like, God, I appreciate it. I've seen what you've done. I see what you're doing. But time is ticking a little bit, and still no job. But nevertheless, I trust you. I've seen you move. I trust you. So I said, I'm not gonna stress myself too much. I don't think I hadn't been like applying for like probably just almost 2 weeks now, and I felt at peace with it, because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna trust God, and God knows what He's doing. I'm in Wales. I get an email from a place I'd applied to like some time ago, ages ago, and though they were asking me in for an interview, and this is a part-time place as well. And in my mind, I'm thinking part-time would be best, because I'm gonna be studying as well. This is just how God is amazing. Just God just knows best, because really and truly in this London, me working part-time and studying, part-time will not cover most of my costs. Part-time is not enough to cover many of my costs. So it was like, God was like, yeah, this is not going to make sense. And I just began to trust, okay, even if you do give me a full-time job, I know that you'll be with me through it all. You're going to give me the strength, you're going to give me the grace to be able to handle both a full-time job and a whole master's. So yeah, cool. I leave Wales, I do the interview the following week. So I do the interview on the Monday. The Tuesday, I get a call. I'll get the job. And these people were supposed to let me know the outcome, because they were telling me they still have a lot more interviews and people they still need to speak to and blah, blah, blah. So I was like one of the first people, at the beginning of the week, starting these interviews and stuff. So I was supposed to hear back by Friday. Yeah, Tuesday they called and were like, hey, Dara, we're really impressed with you yesterday, and I just think even on a personal level, I think we're going to get on very well. And she was, the woman she was very lovely woman. I'd been a bit traumatized because the previous boss is from a specific ethnic group. So I was like, I don't know how she's going to take a liking to me, because I do know that some of them they have like a certain view or perspective of Black people. So I just kind of like had those thoughts in my head, but she was absolutely lovely. And I'm just grateful to God. And I'll be starting in about 2 weeks. And yeah, God came through. He really came through in the most unexpected ways, in the most beautiful ways. And yeah, I cannot thank him enough. And this is just encouragement that anybody who is in any situation, even if it's £10 that God will provide for you, he's gonna help you to make that £10 stretch for the month. He's that God. He will not fail you. So so that is my little testimony. It's not little. I've seen God in a complete new way. God has really revealed himself to me as Jehovah Jireh in this season, and it's been lit. Like, bro, yeah, God. And on top of that job, it's like I've been given the privilege. I'm supposed to work 3 days in the office, but they asked me, one of the questions she asked me was like, are you at least able to work 2 days in the office? And I was like, 2 days? Oh, yes. 2 days in the office? Oh, I'll be there. What days do you want me? And I'll be there, So yes, that just even gives me more flexibility in terms of studying and things like that. So God just knows what he's doing, and I'm trusting that he's going to keep me, and he's going to, help me on this journey. So yeah, that's just my little testimony. And yeah, I hope you guys are encouraged, that God truly is Jehovah Jireh, and he is God the provider.